CM Punk attacks Austin Theory backstage at WWE SmackDown. Are you seriously telling me that CM Punk, the best in the world, the man who came back to WWE after a decade to restore credibility and legitimacy to professional wrestling, just destroyed Austin Theory backstage on SmackDown in the most brutal assault we've seen in years? The same CM Punk who preaches about doing business the right way, about earning your spot, about respecting the wrestling business, just threw all of that out the window to jump Austin Theory from behind like some common thug. And WWE is trying to frame this as justified, as Theory getting what he deserved. The hypocrisy, the absolute double standard. Because when Austin Theory attacked people as the mystery man, WWE called him a coward and a villain. But when CM Punk does the exact same thing, attacking someone from behind without warning, we're supposed to cheer for it. This is exactly what's wrong with WWE's moral storytelling, and what happened in that backstage area is going to set off a chain reaction that nobody saw coming. But here's what should have every wrestling fan absolutely livid right now. WWE just completely undermined their own storyline by having CM Punk attack Theory on SmackDown when Theory is a Raw superstar. Theory's entire arc has been on Raw. His mystery man reveal happened on Raw. His confrontations with Roman Reigns and getting Brock Lesnar's protection all happened on Raw. So why the hell is CM Punk attacking Theory on a completely different brand on a different night? This makes no sense from a continuity standpoint. It makes WWE look like they don't even understand their own brand split. And it makes CM Punk look like an obsessed psychopath who can't let things go instead of the calculated professional he's supposed to be. The lack of basic storytelling logic is infuriating and shows how little WWE actually cares about making sense as long as they get their shocking moments. Let me break down exactly what happened on SmackDown, because this attack was vicious, calculated, and raises serious questions about CM Punk's mental state and true motivations. SmackDown is about 90 minutes into the show. We've had several matches, some promos, typical Friday night programming. There's been no indication that CM Punk is even in the building because Punk is a Raw superstar and this is SmackDown. Nobody expects to see Punk at all tonight. That's what makes what happens next so shocking and problematic. The cameras cut backstage to the catering area where several SmackDown superstars are eating, talking, relaxing between segments. And walking through the catering area, looking completely out of place, is Austin Theory. Theory is in street clothes, jeans, a hoodie, a baseball cap pulled low like he's trying to not be noticed. The commentary team immediately starts questioning why Theory is on SmackDown. Michael Cole says something like, "Wait, that's Austin Theory. He's a Raw superstar. What's he doing here on SmackDown?" Corey Graves speculates, maybe he's visiting friends? Maybe there's a trade happening? This is unusual. Theory grabs some food, fills a plate, and sits down at a table by himself in a corner of the catering area. He's on his phone, scrolling through social media, eating, completely unaware of his surroundings. The camera stays on him for maybe 10 seconds, and you can see Theory is nervous even though he's trying to act casual. He keeps looking around, keeps checking over his shoulder, clearly on edge after everything that's happened with Roman, Punk, and Brock on Raw. Then, the atmosphere in the catering area changes. You can see it on people's faces in the background. Conversations stop mid-sentence. People turn to look at something off camera. There's this collective intake of breath like everyone just realized something terrible is about to happen. The camera slowly pans, and there he is. CM Punk. Walking through catering with purpose, with intent, with absolute rage radiating off him. Punk is in his ring gear, which means he was either preparing for a match or just finished one, but either way, he's ready for a fight. Austin Theory finally notices the commotion, looks up from his phone, and his face goes white when he sees CM Punk walking directly toward him. Theory immediately stands up, backs away from the table, hands up in a defensive posture. Theory starts talking, saying something like, "Whoa, Punk, hold on. I didn't know you were here. I'm not looking for trouble. I'm just getting some food." But Punk doesn't slow down. Punk doesn't say a word. Punk just keeps coming. And then Punk explodes. He grabs the table Theory was sitting at and flips it, sending food, plates, drinks flying everywhere. The other wrestlers in catering immediately scatter, getting out of the way because nobody wants to be collateral damage when CM Punk is in this mode. Theory tries to run, tries to get away, but Punk is too fast. Punk grabs Theory by the back of his hoodie and yanks him backward, sending Theory crashing into a wall. What happens next is absolutely brutal and uncomfortable to watch. Punk starts throwing stiff punches, not worked wrestling punches, but real strikes that you can hear connecting with Theory's body and face. Theory tries to cover up, tries to defend himself, but Punk is relentless. Punk hits Theory with a knee to the midsection that doubles Theory over, then delivers a vicious kick to Theory's head that sends him sprawling across the floor. Theory is already busted open, blood visible on his face, and Punk is still not done. Punk picks Theory up and throws him through a nearby equipment table, the kind with electronics and monitors on it. The crash is deafening. Sparks fly from broken equipment. Theory is lying in the wreckage barely conscious, and Punk stands over him breathing heavily. Finally, Punk speaks, and his voice is full of cold fury. You think you can play games? You think you can attack people and hide behind mystery man bullshit? You think getting Brock Lesnar to protect you makes you safe? Let me tell you something, kid. There is nowhere you can go that I won't find you. There is no one who can protect you from me. You made this personal when you went after people I care about. Now you get to live with the consequences. Punk reaches down, grabs Theory by the face, and forces Theory to look at him. This is just the beginning. Every time I see you, every time you show your face in my presence, I'm going to do this again, and again, and again, until you learn that actions have consequences, until you learn some respect, until you quit. Punk then delivers one more brutal knee strike to Theory's head, leaving Theory completely unconscious in the wreckage. Security finally arrives way too late to stop anything and they surround CM Punk, but Punk doesn't resist. He puts his hands up, steps back, and allows himself to be escorted away. But the look on Punk's face is terrifying. No remorse, no regret, just cold satisfaction that he did what he came to do. As Punk is being led away, he passes Adam Pearce, the Raw GM, who apparently traveled to SmackDown tonight for undisclosed reasons. Pearce is screaming at Punk, "What the hell were you thinking? You just assaulted a fellow WWE superstar. You can't do this. There are going to be serious consequences." Punk stops, looks Pearce dead in the eye, and says, "Fine me. Suspend me. Fire me. I don't care. Some things are more important than paychecks and corporate rules. Austin Theory needed to learn a lesson, and I'm the teacher. You want consequences for me? Bring them. But that kid in there?" Punk points back toward the catering area. He got exactly what he deserved. And then Punk walks away, leaving Pearce standing there looking helpless and frustrated. The cameras cut back to catering where medical staff is now attending to Austin Theory. Theory is conscious now but clearly hurt. Blood all over his face, holding his ribs, moving slowly and carefully. The medical staff is trying to assess his injuries, asking him questions, checking for concussion symptoms. One of the doctors says they need to get Theory to a medical facility immediately for x-rays and a full evaluation. Theory is loaded onto a stretcher, and this is significant because WWE rarely uses stretchers anymore unless they're really trying to sell an injury as serious. As Theory is being wheeled out, the camera catches him saying something to one of the medical staff. Based on lip reading and the audio that was captured, Theory says, "He's insane. Punk is insane. Someone needs to stop him. He's going to kill me." The fear in Theory's voice is palpable and real. This isn't a character worried about losing a match. This is someone genuinely scared for their physical safety. And that creates a very different type of tension than normal wrestling storylines provide. SmackDown goes to commercial, and when it comes back, Nick Aldis, the SmackDown general manager, is in his office having an intense conversation with someone on the phone. From context, it sounds like he's talking to WWE management, possibly Triple H himself. Aldis is saying things like, "I understand the severity. Yes, CM Punk is still in the building. No, Austin Theory has been taken to a local medical facility. I'll handle the disciplinary measures. This can't happen again." The conversation makes it clear that WWE management is pissed about this incident and there will be consequences. But then, while Aldis is on the phone, Brock Lesnar bursts into the office. No knocking. No warning. Brock just opens the door so forcefully it slams against the wall. Aldis immediately tells whoever's on the phone he'll call them back and hangs up. Brock walks up to Aldis's desk, leans forward with both hands on the desk, and speaks in that low, menacing growl. "Where's Punk?" Aldis, to his credit, doesn't show fear even though he's facing the beast. "Brock, you need to calm down. We're handling the situation. CM Punk will face appropriate disciplinary action for." Brock slams his fist on the desk, cutting Aldis off. "I asked you a question. Where is Punk?" Aldis maintains his composure. "CM Punk has been escorted to a private area while we determine the proper response. But Brock, you need to understand that taking matters into your own hands will only make this worse. Let WWE management handle this appropriately." Brock straightens up, and there's a terrifying smile on his face. "Punk made this personal when he attacked someone under my protection. Paul Heyman asked me to protect Austin Theory, and I agreed. That means anyone who touches Theory has to go through me. So you tell CM Punk that he just made the biggest mistake of his life. And the next time we're in the same building, I'm going to break him in half." Brock walks out of the office, and Aldis immediately gets back on the phone, presumably to warn WWE management that the situation just escalated dramatically. Because now it's not just about CM Punk attacking Austin Theory. Now it's about CM Punk directly challenging Brock Lesnar's authority and protection. This is now a situation that could explode into one of the biggest feuds WWE has seen in years. The show continues, but about 20 minutes later, we get another backstage segment, this time with CM Punk in a private locker room. Punk is sitting on a bench, hands still taped from his attack on Theory, looking completely calm and unbothered by everything that just happened. A backstage interviewer tentatively enters the room and asks if Punk will explain his actions. Punk looks at the camera and delivers a promo that's going to be talked about for weeks. You want an explanation? Fine. I'll give you one. For months, Austin Theory has been playing games, attacking people from behind, wearing masks, acting like he's some kind of genius mastermind, and WWE rewarded that behavior by giving him television time, by making him a focal point of Raw, by treating him like he matters. That sent a message to every young wrestler in the back: if you want attention, if you want opportunities, just attack people and cause chaos. Forget earning respect. Forget paying your dues. Forget working hard and getting better. Just be violent and you'll get pushed. Punk pauses, and his intensity increases. I came back to WWE to change that culture. To remind people what professional wrestling is supposed to be about. Hard work, excellence, earning your spot through talent and dedication. But WWE keeps enabling punks like Austin Theory who take shortcuts and think consequences don't apply to them. So I became the consequence. I did what WWE management should have done weeks ago. I taught Austin Theory that actions have repercussions. That you can't just attack people without expecting retribution. That sooner or later, someone is going to hit back. The interviewer asks about Brock Lesnar's protection of Theory and Brock's threat. Punk laughs. Brock Lesnar protecting Austin Theory is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Brock is being used by Paul Heyman again for some scheme that Brock doesn't even fully understand. But if Brock wants to make this his fight, if Brock wants to defend some kid who doesn't deserve protection, then Brock and I can settle this like we've settled things before. In the ring. I've fought Brock multiple times over my career. Sometimes I've won. Sometimes I've lost. But I've never been afraid of Brock Lesnar. And I'm not starting now. Punk stands up and walks toward the camera, getting close so his face fills the screen. Austin Theory, if you're watching this from whatever hospital they took you to, here's what you need to understand. Tonight was a warning. Tonight was me being merciful. Because I could have done so much worse. If you're smart, you'll stay away from me. You'll stay on Raw, I'll stay on Raw, and we'll never have to cross paths again. But if you ever come near me, if you ever try to retaliate, if you ever think you can get revenge, I will end your career. Not in a dramatic storyline way. Not in a take some time off and come back way. I will legitimately injure you so badly that you won't be able to wrestle anymore. That's not a threat. That's a promise. The promo ends with Punk staring directly into the camera, and the show fades to black for another commercial. When SmackDown comes back, the commentary team is trying to process everything that's happened. Michael Cole is talking about how CM Punk crossed a line tonight, how this kind of violence has no place in WWE, how management needs to take action. Corey Graves, interestingly, is taking a more nuanced position. Look, I don't condone what Punk did, but can we really say Austin Theory didn't have this coming? Theory spent weeks attacking people. He revealed himself as the mystery man and acted proud of it. Punk just gave Theory a taste of his own medicine. Is that wrong? Or is that justice? The moral ambiguity of the situation is what makes this compelling but also frustrating, because WWE is presenting this in a way where both sides have valid points. Theory did attack people first, so Punk's retaliation isn't completely unjustified, but Punk's level of violence exceeded anything Theory did, and Punk attacking Theory on a different brand when Theory wasn't even looking for a confrontation feels excessive and unhinged. So who's right? Who's wrong? WWE is leaving that deliberately unclear, which is either sophisticated storytelling or lazy moral relativism depending on your perspective. Now let's talk about all the massive problems with this angle because there are so many layers of terrible decisions and continuity issues. First, CM Punk attacking Austin Theory on SmackDown when both are Raw superstars completely breaks the brand split. If wrestlers can just show up on whatever show they want to attack whoever they want, then what's the point of having separate brands? The brand split is supposed to create distinct rosters and storylines, but WWE constantly violates their own rules whenever it's convenient, which trains fans to not take the brand split seriously. Second, this makes CM Punk look like a hypocrite and a bully. Punk's entire character is built on having a code, having principles, doing things the right way. But ambushing someone in catering, beating them unconscious, and sending them to the hospital is not the right way to handle business. That's the wrong way. That's what heels do. So is Punk turning heel? Is this a character shift? Or is WWE just having Punk act out of character because they thought the visual of Punk destroying Theory would be cool? The lack of clarity about Punk's character alignment is confusing. Third, where does Austin Theory go from here? Theory just got absolutely destroyed on television. He was beaten so badly he needed medical attention and had to be taken to a hospital. How does Theory recover credibility after that? How does anyone take him seriously as a threat when CM Punk just ragdolled him in catering? The only way Theory recovers is if WWE commits to a long redemption arc where Theory trains, gets better, and eventually gets revenge on Punk. But we all know WWE doesn't have the patience for long-term storytelling like that. Fourth, Brock Lesnar's involvement is now mandatory, which means WWE has to keep Brock around for this storyline to pay off. Brock made a threat to CM Punk. Punk made it clear he's not afraid of Brock. Those two has to fight now, or Brock looks like he made an empty threat and Punk looks like he was bluffing. So WWE better have Brock under contract for enough dates to actually follow through on this confrontation, or the whole thing falls apart. Fifth, what are the consequences for CM Punk? Adam Pearce threatened consequences. Nick Aldis said there would be disciplinary measures. WWE management was apparently pissed. So what actually happens? Is Punk fined? Suspended? Fired? Or do they just sweep it under the rug and move on like this attack never happened? Because if there are no real consequences, then WWE is establishing that top stars can do whatever they want without punishment, which undermines authority figures and makes the rules meaningless. Let's discuss the real-world implications of this storyline. In actual WWE, there are rules, contracts, standards of conduct. If a wrestler actually attacked another wrestler backstage and sent them to the hospital, there would be serious legal and professional consequences. That person would likely be fired, possibly sued, definitely disciplined. But in WWE storylines, this kind of violence happens regularly with minimal consequences because it's entertainment. The disconnect between how WWE presents these situations and how they would actually be handled in reality creates cognitive dissonance for fans who are supposed to suspend disbelief but also take the sports entertainment aspect seriously. The Austin Theory character has been destroyed by WWE's booking over the past year. Theory had the Money in the Bank briefcase and lost his cash-in at WrestleMania. Theory was the mystery man and immediately got dismissed by Roman and Punk. Theory got Brock's protection and immediately got destroyed by Punk anyway. At what point does WWE admit that they have no idea what to do with Austin Theory and just stop featuring him prominently? Because every major angle they put Theory in makes him look worse instead of better. Social media reaction to this segment has been intense and polarized. Half of wrestling Twitter is celebrating Punk's attack, posting memes of Theory getting destroyed, saying Theory deserved it and Punk is a badass. The other half is criticizing WWE for glorifying violence and making their supposed babyface act like a psychotic villain. There's also a contingent of fans who are just confused about what the storyline is even supposed to be anymore because it's become so convoluted with Roman, Punk, Theory, Brock, and Heyman all involved with unclear motivations. Wrestling journalists have been critical of this segment. Dave Meltzer reportedly said the attack was well executed from a production standpoint but questionable from a storytelling logic perspective. Wade Keller questioned why Punk would risk his WWE comeback by attacking someone on a different brand for no clear immediate reason. Brian Alvarez went on a rant about how WWE doesn't understand heel/face dynamics anymore and just does whatever generates short-term buzz without thinking about long-term character consistency. Here's what WWE should do to make this storyline work going forward. First, establish clear consequences for CM Punk. Have him suspended for 2 weeks, fined a substantial amount, and forced to issue a public apology, which Punk refuses to do sincerely, maintaining his belief that Theory deserved it. Second, use this attack as the catalyst for Austin Theory's character transformation. Theory should come back more serious, more focused, more dangerous, dropping the selfie gimmick completely and becoming a legitimate threat who's motivated by revenge. Third, build to CM Punk vs. Brock Lesnar at a major premium live event with Austin Theory in a special referee or enforcer role where Theory can impact the outcome. Fourth, have Paul Heyman's manipulation revealed, showing how he orchestrated this entire situation to create chaos and weaken both Punk and Brock. But what will actually happen? Probably nothing coherent. WWE will probably have Punk and Theory fight once at the next pay-per-view, Punk will win decisively, and then they'll move on to different feuds without proper resolution. Brock will probably disappear after making his threat because his contract only allows for limited dates. Paul Heyman will continue being Roman's advocate like none of this happened. And Austin Theory will go back to being a mid-card comedy act within a month. That's the WWE pattern: big dramatic moment with no meaningful follow-through. The CM Punk character is in a weird place right now because WWE seems unsure whether he's a face or heel. Punk acts like a vigilante who operates outside the rules, which is heel behavior, but he's positioned as being morally justified in his actions, which is face positioning. This moral ambiguity might be intentional to make Punk a complex character, or it might be WWE creative not having a clear vision for what Punk should be. Either way, it's confusing for fans who don't know whether to cheer or boo Punk's actions. The violence level of this attack is also worth discussing. WWE has been trying to be more PG-friendly in recent years, toning down blood and extreme violence. But this segment featured a brutal assault that left someone bloody and hospitalized. That's a mixed message. Either WWE is comfortable with this level of violence and should embrace it consistently, or they should tone it down and keep things more PG across the board. The inconsistency is jarring and makes it seem like WWE doesn't have clear standards. Austin Theory's character has potential if WWE would just commit to a direction. Theory has the look, the athleticism, the youth. He could be a top star in 5 years if developed properly, but WWE keeps putting him in situations that make him look weak, stupid, or incompetent. This attack by Punk is just the latest example. Instead of protecting Theory and building him up gradually, WWE sacrifices him to make established stars look good. That's short-term thinking that prevents WWE from creating new stars. The Paul Heyman element adds intrigue because Heyman is clearly playing a long game that nobody fully understands yet. Heyman protecting Theory, Heyman recruiting Brock, Heyman working behind Roman's back, it's all building towards something. But what? My theory is that Heyman is trying to create so much chaos that multiple top stars are weakened simultaneously, allowing someone Heyman has secretly aligned with, possibly a returning star or an unexpected ally, to swoop in and capture championships while everyone else is distracted. That would be classic Heyman manipulation if executed well. Comment below and tell me everything you think about this insane situation. Was CM Punk justified in attacking Austin Theory, or did he cross the line? Should there be serious consequences for Punk? Can Austin Theory recover from this beating credibly? Is Brock Lesnar actually going to follow through on his threat? What's Paul Heyman's ultimate endgame? Is this storyline brilliant or terrible? Smash that like button if you have strong feelings about this attack. Share this with every wrestling fan who needs to see what happened. Subscribe to WrestlingNewsCC with notifications on, because this storyline is developing rapidly and chaotically. CM Punk just changed everything, and nobody knows where this is going.